We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity.
We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy.
Silence! The great and powerful Oz knows why you have come.
You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it! My life has value.
You have meddled with the primal forces of nature.
Don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts.
It's time to buckle up for making sense of the madness.
And who loves you? And who do you love?
Hey everybody, Jason Bermas here, and today we're going to discuss Joe Biden and his announcement that all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he has aggressive stage 4 terminal prostate cancer that has spread to his bones. Now, I want to make it abundantly clear. There is zero chance, and I mean zero chance, that the physicians that were there to not only treat Biden, but to obfuscate his obvious dementia from day one. All right, let's put that into perspective. This man was clearly suffering from dementia when he was running for the president of the United States in 2020, and it was on display for all to see and all to hear, for those that had eyes and ears, that clearly his mental faculty was going away. This was a guy that, whether you loved him or hated him, was extremely sharp, was extremely likable throughout most of his career. I used to call him Joey B, the lovable gangster, right? He comes in Delaware, which for those that don't know is a huge state for money laundering that serves a multitude of purposes, a multitude of different types of corruption. And Biden himself, although I would say a pretty good politician in the scope of things, he was a plagiarizer who was caught, and he was pretty open about his criminality compared to others that were either not in the spotlight or didn't want to be. You see, Biden really did want to be president, like in the worst way. This is a guy who ran, and eventually, during the Barack administration, edged out Hillary Clinton as the VP after Obama edged Hillary out as the presidential nominee among the globalist establishment for a multitude of reasons. And I usually don't make it about identity politics, but in that regard, because of the baggage that had come with Clinton and this idea that they were able to sell pretty soundly, internationally even, not just in this country, of hope and change via the Barack star, they decided to play the race card rather than the gender card. You see, if you didn't want Barack Obama, because listen, smart guy, extremely well-spoken, quick on his feet, knew how to respond, comes from that law background, still a puppet, still installed, still answering to others, but he's great at management. And that's why in some capacities, he actually made a return during the Biden administration, 100%. If you don't think he was part of that micromanagement group that was actually running the country after a coup d'etat, I don't know what to tell you. Again, they installed a guy who did not have his mental faculties. And now Jake Tapper, we're going to show you that as well. And others are like, well, guess what we knew? I'm so sick of it. You know, I will never forget that interview I did with Kevin Roose of the New York Times. And, you know, now in retrospect, I should have taped my interview with Andrew Callahan as well. And not that Callahan made me look that bad, but normally I don't even do these interviews unless I have a full tape, unedited, of everything that took place. And I still have that unedited interview of Kevin Roose asking me about 9/11, but he was good enough to actually come on the show. And he couldn't wait to get off after 30 minutes. But when I asked him if Joe Biden was actually running the country, he acted like I didn't know what it was very clear. I was asking him if he really believed that Joe Biden was making day-to-day decisions as the president of the United States. And he wanted so badly to play dumb. I mean, again, these are the authoritative sources. Didn't understand what I was saying. And then really ultimately, after I laid it out, refused to answer the question yes or no. He just said, well, he's the president. He's the commander-in-chief. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Like La La Land. I'm talking about a dementia-ridden puppet. And the fact of the matter is, when you look at the second Bush administration, you know, George Bush at least would speak to the public, right? As nightmarish as that was, had very, very little to do with actually running the country. But Cheney, Rumsfeld, Wolfowitz, all those people absolutely were. With again, Cheney as the vice president. Kamala Harris, nowhere near the level of any of the three people I just said. Full stop. Okay? So, we're going to get into it. We're actually going to show you Biden in 2022. And here's the thing. I've got to go back because I remember specifically, I was doing a lot of watch-alongs with Joe Biden speaking because he didn't speak that much. If he was out giving a speech, and they're never like an hour or anything like that. I think that he gave one or two in his whole presidency that was more than 40 minutes and rang out to an hour or whatever. Almost never took questions from the press. This was like a 22-minute one. And in it, I guarantee you, I'm going to have to go find it, but we'll probably do another episode just based on that. I was under the impression that his dementia just had him saying things. But in this case, his dementia actually protected him because he had said so many things that were obviously not true, and the media was not asking questions whatsoever. When he said that he had gotten cancer, like so many other people in 2022, I brushed it off as a dementia moment. I didn't even think about it. It was in and out. And you can guarantee at that point what it was a slip up. He forgot that he's not supposed to talk about that. And he was absolutely talking to his doctors about it. So we're going to play that video. We're going to show you the Tapper stuff. We're going to have just a small discussion about the whole thing. I need you to thumbs it up, subscribe, share, especially if you are new. We did get a bunch of subscribers after the Independent Media Alliance panel that I really hope that everybody out there enjoyed. Whitney Webb, James Corbett, Last American Vagabond, Derek Bros, Steve from Slow News Day. I mean, a killer panel. A lot of people wanted Patrick Wood there. And that's because, again, Patrick Wood has done other IMA panels, and this one would really have been in his wheelhouse, especially with Wood. If you watch the first part of that panel, now saying he is utilizing AI. So listen, that discussion could have gone on for 4 hours if we all had the time. I'd say we're going to try to be doing panels once every 1 to 2 months at least. Again, this is a budding thing, and it's totally decentralized. It's not about money, etc. It's about the opposite. It's about getting the information out no matter what. So I want to thank the Patriot.tv audience out there as well for checking it out. That being said, if you are new, I need to explain to you, you're my only hope. Like I might as well be Princess Leia in episode 4, and you're all my Obi-Wan Kenobi. I want to be your Skywalker, for sure, at least in 4, 5, and 6. Okay? But I need you now more than ever. For those that don't understand, I am not allowed to monetize my material because I am harmful content. And what that means is that it is content that focuses on controversial issues and that is harmful to viewers. So, they want me to edit my channel, but they won't tell me what's wrong. That's why I need you. And the links are down below. The Buy Me a Coffee is right there, $5, $10, $15, big donors. I could not do it without you. Please also give me a following on X. As many subscribers as we were able to get on YouTube in the mainstream. Guess what? Still down from last week on X when we were almost at 47.1, and now we're almost clawing back to it there. Let's get into it. So, Original Sin, the book on Biden's health decline, reopens Democratic Party's wounds. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Again, for those that had eyes and ears, it was very clear the man had dementia. Out of the gates. Out of the gates. And I want this to be a microcosm for other things. What do I mean by that? Well, so many people that have dismissed me questioning 9/11, especially in regards to the controlled demolitions of 1, 2, and 7. They say somebody would have come out, somebody would have said something, somebody would have spilled the beans. Do you understand how many people were around Joe Biden in the administration, outside of the administration, inside the media, outside the media, that had, forget about the cancer stuff, that we're going to get into in a minute, that knew he was totally done sauce, and not one of them lined up with that same mainstream media that protected the guy and acted like he was going to run for president in 2024, all the way up until they shoved Kamala and Bermas in everybody's face, which they tried to do the first time. No bueno. Okay? We're talking easily hundreds of people with intimate knowledge of his dementia, probably thousands. If we're talking about the intel community just going based on the sources that they had, nobody sat down with 60 Minutes. Nobody sat down with Fox News. They might have been talking about it on Fox News. Nobody sat there and said, I'm here with Joe Biden day to day. Okay? He's awake maybe 8 hours total in the day. He runs nothing. We're utilizing AutoPen. Nobody. So yeah, keep telling me about 9/11, not a whistleblower. 4 years. And now they're trying to massage the issue. So let's get into the cancer stuff, okay? Because that's really the meat and potatoes of this. We're going to play the video in a moment. But in 2022, again, the slip up, he's got the glasses on, so you really can't see. This was actually one of his more coherent moments in the whole speech. I remember, I'm going to have to go find it. We did a watch along with the whole shebango, because it was like 20 minutes long, if that. I want to say it was closer to 14, if my little memory can serve me well, from 3 years ago. Okay, so in 2022, he talks about it. All right? But again, one of the reasons that you could kind of play in to the dementia moment, he also says that he ended cancer. Now look, he might have even, again, in that dementia moment, now in retrospect, been saying that he had beaten his cancer. Because this wasn't the only time he said it. Let's just play this really quick. It's a ramble for sure.
I said I'd cure cancer. They looked at me like, why cancer? Because no one thinks we can. That's why, and we can. We end the cancer as we know it.
And that's Cancer Moonshot. Again, the funny thing is, when you look at this story, right? When you had some of these GOP people saying, did Joe Biden just announce that he has cancer? No one followed up on it. And this guy, how dumb is this tweet? No, the guy, we're going to play the video. The guy says it, and it's not even in like don't get me wrong, it's in a long, more coherent ramble about his past, okay? And what he believes, quote unquote, gave him the cancer. Now, I know that there's massive speculation out there as to bibbity, bobbity, boobity giving him the cancer. I'm not even here to say that. Not even here to say that. I'm here to tell you that this information was probably guarded a lot more. It may well have been between a few Secret Service agents, a few people in the executive branch, Joe and his wife, maybe some other family. Maybe. The cancer thing. The dementia thing, everyone knew. But again, it just shows that compartmentalization process on top of it. Because again, this doesn't happen overnight. You're the president of the United States. You are literally privy to the best medical attention in the world, unless someone far more powerful for some reason wants otherwise. And even then, that's going to be difficult for that more powerful person. So here's Joe Biden in 2022 announcing that he has cancer. And I'm going to say it again. I dismissed it as a dementia moment. It seems like it was in reverse, and the dementia was the cover.
And because it was a 4-lane highway that was accessible, my mother drove us, and rather than us be able to walk. And guess what? The first frost, you know what was happening? You had to put on their windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer.
And there it is. I and so many other damn people that I grew up with have cancer. Now, I'm not saying that that couldn't be a factor. Maybe that is what the physicians have told him. He did lose a son to brain cancer. But again, in 2022, when the media was giving this guy a total pass, I mean, they still do. The media coverage of this is a bad joke. Right? Like, this shows you not only why you should go by the mantra of trust no one. Okay? You can listen, but trust with verification. Have discernment with the information that's out there. Admit when you're wrong. I mean, again, I'm going to go find that video, and I'll bet anything that I probably just dismissed it out of hand. Maybe I said, hey, this is a possibility. But it's something that just rolled right out of my noggin. Because they couldn't tell the public, which they treat like children, that you had a dementia patient in there. I mean, eventually, people couldn't look you in the eye and tell you that Joe Biden was running the country, no matter how hardcore of a liberal they were, period. They tried to run with the talking point, this is the sharpest Biden yet. And then after that first debate, every single one of them turned on him because it was just too overwhelming, too in their face. And that's what we got to continue to do, is push this information out there and make it too overwhelming. But we got to get our public narrative correct. Correct. Not what's advantageous politically, not what you want to be real. No. There is truth and there are lies. There's a lot of in between trying to confuse you. But at the end of the day, it's not about left or right, folks. It's always about right and wrong. Please consider supporting the broadcast. $5, $10, $15. Big donors, I need you now more than ever. Like I said, we can't even make money on this platform with the already small audience we have. I really do hope that you enjoyed that AI panel. We're going to be working to get some more guests on the program and have some more discussions. We've really turned Making Sense of the Madness in large part to a commentary show. But I also enjoy doing that as well. I absolutely love you guys. Thanks for watching. Thumbs it up, share, subscribe. Check out the documentary films for free down below. Loose Change Final Cut and Fabled Enemies on 9/11. Shade the Motion Picture and Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined on Globalism. We'll see you all on the flip side.